Welcome to Mamahood After Trauma, where healing and mamahood intersect. I'm Emily, your host. Join us as we discover practical strategies to nurture ourselves with kindness and understanding. Stay tuned for insights and inspiration to support you on your path of healing and growth. Let's dive in together. This is Mamahood After Trauma. Hello, Mama. Welcome to this episode of the Mamahood After Trauma podcast. I am so excited for you to be here today listening to this episode. It is another special episode. In this episode, you are going to hear from Heather Hansen. She was a speaker at the most recent Mamahood After Trauma symposium. And she shares passionately about how old trauma and limiting beliefs can contribute to bloating and fatigue. The hope is that by the end of this episode, you will walk away with simple solutions to improve your energy and resolve your bloating. And so today, Heather is sharing with us about the gut-brain connection. But before we get to her, I want to share a little bit about what Heather is known for and who she is so that you can go into this episode with an understanding. So Heather Hansen, affectionately known as the gut health paramedic, is the visionary behind the transformative digestive CPR framework. As a wellness expert, she is on a mission to empower leaders to conquer the relentless issues of bloating, fatigue, brain fog, and weight gain that the medical community often leaves unresolved. Heather's proprietary methods focus on digestive health, hormone balance, detoxification, and powerful mindset shifts. By healing the body at a cellular level from the inside out, she enables individuals to transform from simply surviving to truly thriving, freeing them to live lives full of passion and purpose without the constant worry and wonder. This holistic approach empowers clients to unlock their true potential, achieve their career goals, and embrace self-love along the journey. With an impressive 26-year career in healthcare, Heather intimately understands the struggles her clients face. Her journey is deeply personal, having triumphed over autoimmune thyroid disease using her groundbreaking methodologies. Now, she shares her insights and expertise to help others achieve unparalleled wellness and vitality. Without further ado, here's Heather. We interrupt this amazing conversation for a word from our sponsor. Are you tired of feeling like you're on an emotional roller coaster in mamahood? Ready to break free from the fear and frustration that's holding you back? Introducing Mama Untriggered private podcast series, a transformative 5-episode journey to help you calm your nervous system and reclaim your strength in mamahood. In each episode, we'll guide you through practical, actionable steps to understand your triggers, build your trigger toolbox, and harness the power of community for support. Say goodbye to those moments of overwhelm and hello to more peaceful, empowered you. You didn't become a mama to spend your day on edge. It's time to take control of your emotional well-being and create a positive, joyful experience for you and your littles. Ready to break free from the emotional roller coaster? Subscribe now to the Mama Untriggered private podcast series and start your journey to a calmer, happier mamahood today.
Hi there, I am so honored to be here with such an incredible group of women sharing a piece of my story. First, I'd like to thank Emily for creating such an amazing community for women to feel safe. This is where the real healing can begin. I'm Heather Hansen, and I've had a lot of roles in my life, the most important being wife, mother, nana, dog mom, and founder and CEO of Flourish Nutritional Therapy Consultants. It is my life's mission to provide a safe space for women to heal, a space where they feel heard, they have connection, they have hope, and they have a plan on how they're going to feel better. I am on a mission to tell as many women as I can that they don't have to settle for poor health and they can spend time living and dreaming instead of worrying and wondering. I'd like to begin with just a little poll just to see where you might be struggling with some symptoms. So raise your hand if you have ever walked out of a doctor's office and felt frustrated, lost, and unheard. And I am a 2 hands up during my 20s and 30s with this particular one. How many of you would like more energy? Who wants more focus and concentration? And who wants to look and feel slimmer? Now, this doesn't mean weight loss. But what about bloating, right? Do you struggle with bloating and not even know why? If you raised your hand for any of those things, or if you're like me and had all of them in my previous life, I would like you to grab a pen and paper because I have 5 simple habits that can really help you lessen fatigue, bloating, and brain fog. First, I'd like to share some cliff notes, just a little bit of cliff notes about me. Becoming a mom is one of the scariest things that I have ever done. The first time I held my oldest son in my arms at the age of 19, I felt this overwhelming love, and I looked at his little face and I knew that I would protect him no matter what and no matter the cost. The day that he was born, I lost any respect I had for my mother, and I made a pact to myself that I was never going to be like her, and I'm definitely not anything like my mom. I went on a long journey of healing and healing my own body, healing autoimmunity, balancing my hormones, really feeling the best that I ever have in my life. Things were really great, but I do have to tell you, life is not linear. Life ebbs and flows, there's mountains, there's valleys, there are things that are going to get in our way throughout our life, and I'm a firm believer that we need to have tools in our toolbox so that we can actually reach in and utilize those tools when life gets a little bit hard. The part of my journey that I really want to share with you now actually happened earlier this year, which was impactful in so many ways to me and also very eye-opening on how it further put some pieces together with how my childhood and the trauma that I went through during childhood continued to impact me through life, even though I thought I was done with those things, and I clearly was not done. So one of my clients, who's a therapist, invited me to a trauma certification training for practitioners that she was putting on, and I was very excited to go because I love learning. I really want to know about the human body, and I had already known that deep-rooted trauma that gets trapped and stored energy into our bodies can cause disease and can cause a manifestation of so many different symptoms within our body. And this was just another layer that I was going to investigate. So in class, the first day, we have our homework assignment, and our homework assignment is to draw a trauma egg. So we're given these papers, art papers, to take to our Airbnb and create our trauma egg. And the trauma egg is you create your nest, your parents, who they were, what they were like when you were born, any older siblings that you might have had. And then you proceed to write down people that had impacted your life in different ways, and you proceed to write down memories. So you put your first memory that created impact for you, no matter the depth of it, no matter how bad it was, but something that really impacted you. So you collect your memories. And I was a little nervous about this process because there were things on that timeline that I never wrote down. I didn't write them down for reasons. I didn't want people to know them. It was very vulnerable to me for people to know those things. But I was all in, and I was there, and I was doing this project. By the time I got to 17, almost 18, my egg was full. I didn't have any more room on my egg because my childhood and teenage years had so much crap that had happened during that particular time that I actually had to go and get another piece of paper and create the rest of my life on the timeline. So the next day in class, we walk in, here we all have our papers, and let me just say that this was a very safe space to be. We made a pact that whatever happened or was said in that particular class did not go outside it. So everyone's privacy was completely protected within this class. We were told to tape our trauma eggs to the wall, and then we needed to go around and read each person's trauma egg. And that made me so nervous because now people are going to know stuff that some other people really didn't know about me. I mean, these were hush-hush things that I did not talk about on my egg. Going around and reading each other's eggs was very eye-opening, for lack of a better term, of just the pain, just the things that people went through in their life and the things that they were able to do, regardless of the pain that they had gone through as a child. So as we're around our roundtable discussion, my client who was putting on the class, she looked at me and she just had this like heaviness and compassion in her eyes. And she said, Heather, you went through a lot. And I mean a lot of stuff as a child. And when she said that, I was like, oh, wow. She's actually validating. She's validating what happened. Like she's seeing it and she's saying that wasn't right, that I went through a lot. And I was like, wow, okay. Her next statement, though, took me back a little bit. She also told me, Heather, you did not deal with this childhood trauma. You distanced yourself from it. You went away. You moved away, you stuffed it down, you kept living your life and then just kept stuffing other things on top of it. So you need to work on these things. You really need to work on some of these things. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to work on it. I've been stuffing it down for so long, right? But it just made me sit and go, no wonder I was starting to have some of these symptoms again because I had stuffed things down and I kept stuffing more. And it was just surfacing throughout this. So this class just further confirmed that old stuff that we had stuffed down for so long can rear its ugly head later down the line, but there's things you can do about it, which is really lovely, right? Because I don't want a problem that I can't solve or a problem that I can't resolve. So I really like to take action within the problems. So after that trauma certification class, I also took a neurolingual programming course. And in this course, we were told that children's brains are programmed 75% by age 3 and 100% by age 5. So how we viewed the world very much depicted the things that we were going to carry and believe throughout our life. And I was like, whoa, taken aback just a little bit. That's amazing. To think that a 5-year-old brain is analyzing their surroundings and they're creating what life looks like or who they are based on these beliefs. So you can just imagine how a child would feel at age 5 if he doesn't think he's good enough or she doesn't think she's good enough. they're not pretty enough. They gotta do more. They're never doing enough. They're not worthy. Like these things get stuffed, right? And these beliefs can really keep us stuck. And so there is a lot of evidence, a lot of scientific evidence that is really linking childhood trauma or any trauma to manifestation of disease. And so one of the things that I'm here to tell you is that you are not alone. There is a way to feel better. You just need someone to help you get there, right? Identify it. And this community that Emily has created is a perfect way of really working through some of these really hard things. And as we work through these really hard things, I also want to step back a bit and keep things as simple as possible. So things that you can do on a daily basis that can really impact how your body can manifest symptoms or not manifest symptoms. And this is a huge piece of it, right? The brain, what the brain tells the body, the brain, these old beliefs that could get stuck, right? If you're always telling yourself you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not pretty, I can't, like whatever you're telling your body, the physiology of your body responds and reacts to that. So how in the world can a body be healthy when the brain, because of these old beliefs, is telling the body that it's not good enough, right? It's not allowing the body to heal and recover. So now is the time to take out your pen and paper so that we can write this list. And then I'll give you a little description on what these things look like. And I like to keep, like I said, these are things that not everybody does. They may sound simple, but when you do them, they make a dramatic dynamic change within the body. And these are things to build and expand on, right? Of just knowing that we cannot run away from ourselves. Healing us is an inside job. We can't expect someone else to heal us. It's an inside job. Healing is an inside job, right? You can have help, but it really has to be focused on you. And one of the things that I've noticed is when women don't heal and they just take themselves to a different destination, they still have the same problems because they didn't work on themselves. They just took themselves somewhere else. It wasn't enough, right? So when we're looking at how do you heal from trauma in a holistic way, these next 5 things that we're going to talk about are very, very important in the healing journey. So first and foremost, and this is number 1, and you might think this is silly, but I'm going to tell you that it's not, is be kind to yourself every day. Give yourself grace. Do not beat yourself up. I want you to talk to yourself like you would talk to your daughter, your best friend. And I know that so many women say such ugly things to themselves that they would never say to anybody else. And because I've done it, right? Of, oh my God, you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. What are you thinking? Why would you do this? Look at all your wrinkles. You know, all those things that pop up within our brain. I would never tell my daughter-in-law that. I would never tell my granddaughters that. I would never tell a friend that, a client, never. No one. So be kind to yourself in that sense, right? Give yourself grace. You're strong. You know, the things that I'm strong. I made decisions early last year when I turned 49 years old that I was going to be as strong as I possibly could be in my 50th year of life and before I turned 50. And now one of those strengths is being able to talk to myself and tell myself those good positive things every day. It makes a dramatic difference. The next thing that I want to talk about, so number 2 is I want you to eat a rainbow of colorful foods every day. You do not have to be perfect. We are humans. We are not aiming for perfection. But if you can get one color of the rainbow on your plate, right? Carrots, peppers, tomatoes, salad greens, if you can get some of those on your plate in some way, shape, or form, that will help your body with any type of symptoms that you're having, especially fatigue and brain fog. When we talk about eating clean, the old science and even the new science is really showing is try to eat clean 80% of the time. 80% is sustainable, right? Most of the time, try to eat healthy and clean and foods that nourish your body, including those foods in a rainbow. Number 3 is move your body. Your body wants to be in motion. If you want energy to release out of your body that you are storing, it must be moved, right? This can be walking, it can be running, it can be yoga, it can be things like I do, like HIIT training or lifting heavy. You're releasing energy through your body and creating a lot of endorphins, okay? Number 4 is hydrate. Hydration is key. And I will tell you, moms that are running around taking care of kids, it's one of the things that they don't do very often is making sure that they're staying hydrated. So ideally, you should be drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water every day. Unless you're sweating a lot, then you need a little bit more. You also need to make sure that you're getting some electrolytes in. Magnesium, sodium, potassium, those types of things will help your body stay hydrated, and those are things that can really help with brain fog and fatigue. Number 5, and this is the big one, don't worry about the small stuff. Don't worry about things that haven't happened yet. You know, who's been there where like, oh my God, well, if I do this thing, and then what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And then the next thing you know, you just spent 4 hours in this primal stress state, and all the things that you were worried about and spending all your energy on, they never even happened. They just didn't happen. So now you just spent all of this time that you could have been doing something like going for a walk or taking the dogs for a walk too, right? Playing with the dogs, playing with the kids. Worry will weigh you down more than anything else. So if you notice yourself worrying, and you can say people identify as a worrier, yeah, you may worry. There's ways around it. So don't call yourself a worrier. Just say, you know what? I worry about things that maybe I shouldn't be worrying about. So let me look at things. So some things that have really helped me over the course is, if it doesn't matter tomorrow, I'm not going to worry about it. Socks on the floor, dirty laundry, hanging all different places. If it is not going to affect me tomorrow, is not a big deal. It is not worth my worry. So you can deal with a problem when it becomes a problem, okay? Don't worry about the things that might happen. Deal with it if it becomes a problem, okay? So really trying to put a stopper on the worry. So let's talk about that again, action steps. Be kind to yourself every day. Be kind to yourself like you would to your daughter or any other female in your life. Eat a rainbow of food, eating clean 80% of the time. Move your body. Hydrate. And don't worry about things that haven't happened yet. So I hope this has really helped just put a little perspective. These are all simple things that we can incorporate into our lives. And it's really about just awareness, right? If we know that we're not feeling so good, really analyze, what am I worried about? Am I even worried about something that's going on? And if the answer is no, then you can stop it, right? Just put that little stop there. There's definitely a lot of techniques that can dive in deeper, but those are the most simplistic things. So I hope that I've incorporated some things that can be highly impactful that aren't too stressful to incorporate in your life. You can find more information about me and some of my programs on flourishnutritionaltherapy.com. On there, you can sign up for a free ebook that really works through. It's a workbook. It helps you work through problems and things that may be causing bloating and fatigue and brain fog that are a little bit deeper there. You can also find me at Flourish Nutritional Therapy on Instagram, and you can also find me on Facebook, and then on LinkedIn you can find me under Heather Hansen. I am open to having conversations with people just to see, if I can help guide them in places that might need some help. I'm, again, very honored to be here. I have a lot that I could share with people that might need some help. I'm writing a couple of chapters in some books to really help people deeper, because it truly is my mission to be able to impact as many women as I can so that they know that they don't have to struggle with health issues. There is hope, there can be a plan, there is a way out of things. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to tune in to this episode of the Mamahood After Trauma podcast. If you would like more of the Mamahood After Trauma community, make sure to look in the description of this episode for the link to become a Mamahood After Trauma Inner Circle member. Until next time, Mama, keep